Hi, it's Andrew here. I'm at the beautiful Place Bonaventure Hotel and Conference Center. This is the morning after ConFoo finished, and I just wanted to share a retake on my 5-minute lightning talk I did last night at the lightning talk session. I did get a recording, but it was kind of a big room and hard to hear, and I sort of swallowed some of the lines with some of the audio stuff. So I wanted to re-record it because I think it was a lot of fun and people seemed to enjoy it, and I thought it'd be fun to get it out there. Here we go. I just did a talk about small websites, hamburgers, and punk rock. And this is a bit that I cut for time, but it fits nicely into a lightning talk. Now, punk came out of the 70s when music was getting big and bloated, and it brought back simple, direct, punchy songs. It's all about speed and impact. But it's more than just a kind of music. Punk is an attitude. It's about quick results. It's about everybody doing it for themselves. It's about impact over virtuosity. It's about anarchism over authority. It's distributed instead of centralized. You don't really have to be able to play an instrument, but you need to have the right cool attitude. Now, tech, especially web tech, has always had a bit of an anti-authoritarian punk vibe, but it also tends to get bloated. Now, one thing punk culture loves to do is make sweeping statements about what is and is not punk. This is going to be one of those. Now, they're often really judgmental because punks love nothing more than figuring out who isn't really a punk, but this isn't a judgment call. Some technologies are best as a punk thing. Other technologies really shouldn't be punk. It takes all types. This is just sort of a way of explaining. It's a way of categorizing. So here we go. JavaScript is punk. Java is not punk. Speaking of JavaScript, const is not punk. Let and var are punk. Now, just declaring variables globally without any prefixes at all is so hardcore punk it's probably dangerous, kind of like Sid Vicious on the Sex Pistols US tour carving "I need a fix" on his chest. Git is punk. GitHub used to be punk before they sold out to the man. Speaking of the man, nothing from Microsoft is punk, except for Visual Studio Code, which is almost as punk as Vim. Speaking of Vim, EMACS is definitely not punk rock. EMACS is actually prog rock. It's a giant double album full of complicated instrumentals with lots of noodly keyboard solos. Unix is punk. Linux is way punk. Windows, because it's from Microsoft, is not punk. Now, Mac OS is sort of punk. It's Unix underneath, so it has a history of being punk, but these days it's mostly really, really shiny on top, sort of like late career albums from My Chemical Romance. Amazon.com is not punk. Shopify is punk. NPM is punk. Yarn is not punk. Why? I don't know. I can never really tell them apart. They all seem to do the same thing to me. Whatever. Ruby is too beautiful to be punk. Ruby on Rails used to be punk, but I think it may be a little too complex now. But that demo that DHH did back in 2005, where he built a blog in 15 minutes, one of the most totally punk rock moments of our entire digital era. Docker is punk. Kubernetes is not punk. Blockchain is punk. But nothing actually built with blockchain is punk, especially Bitcoin. Machine learning is punk. AI isn't punk. Why? I don't know actually, but that's what the algorithm told me, so I figured what the heck. Okay. Serverless is punk, but only if it actually doesn't involve any servers whatsoever and just lives on your machine. Float left, float right, those aren't punk. Tables are not punk. Flexbox is punk. Justify content is punk. Align items is not punk. Wait, or is it the other way around? I always have to look it up because I keep forgetting which one's which. Anyway, Let's Encrypt is punk. Komodo, things like that, not punk. Sticking PHP into an HTML page just with tags here and there is totally punk rock. Doing a whole framework in PHP or WordPress or Drupal and things like that is not really punk. Stack Overflow is punk. Hacker News is not punk. Microservices? Everyone's asking about microservices. Well, each individual microservice is definitely punk, but no app built out of microservices is ever punk. AWS is not punk, but Heroku is punk. Building things, actually coding and constructing software in React Native is totally punk rock. Setting up, installing, initializing, configuring a React Native project and actually getting it to run on Android and iOS properly is totally not punk. Smalltalk is like that Sex Pistols concert in Manchester, which only had like 15 people attending, but everyone there went out and started bands like the Buzzcocks, the Smiths, Joy Division, and New Order. Oracle is not punk. PostgreSQL and MySQL are not punk. SQLite, however, is punk. Writing stuff in text files and just accessing it randomly through the file system is totally the most punk. Hey, the Ramones never wrote a symphony, right? Some of the sponsors from ConFoo, Platform.sh, seems pretty punk to me. Done. Is punk. I don't know what they do, but the name is totally punk. Done. Actually, that'd be a great name for a punk band. The Done. 45-minute talks with live coding and slides and everything are totally not punk. Lightning talks, however, are punk. Finally, I'm not particularly punk, but I think Jan Larive, with the hair and everything, might be punk. And you know, therefore, by association, ConFoo is 100% totally punk rock. Thank you. Now, related, nothing at all from Microsoft is punk, except for Visual Studio Code, which is almost as punk as Hello? Never fucking mind. All right.